Hello everyone, this is Manjula Devi P, working as Assistant Professor in GFGC Kanakpura. So in this session, we'll discuss about investment management. In investment management, specifically we'll talk about the sources of investment information. So as you all know, investment decision is one of the important decision because the future profitability, future growth, everything depends on the current decision that we make in relation to investment. So, but before making the investment, it is important to do a thorough analysis. We have something called fundamental analysis, technical analysis, which we are going to see in later sessions. But for doing this analysis, we need the information, we need data. So now what are the sources through which we can collect the data, through which we can gather the data and then carry out the analysis is all the subject matter of today's discussion. So broadly categorize, if we categorize the sources, so there are some of the important sources through which we can gather the data, like world affairs, domestic and economic and political factors, industry information, company information, security market information, security price quotations, and data on mutual funds. So what is world affairs? So as you all know, now we are living in a globalized world. So anything happens in any part of the world affects the entire world, because we are all connected through many trade relations and through many other agreements, formal, informal, and there is exchange of resources from one country to the other. For example, this COVID incident started in China, so today it is spreaded over to the entire world, isn't it? Or recession triggers in any one country and it spreads to the other part of the countries, other part of the world in fact, isn't it? So in 2008 recession, it started in US, then it spread across the countries everywhere, isn't it? So likewise, anything happens, tsunami happens in Japan, COVID happens in China, or recession starts in US. So anything happens in any corner of the world slowly affect the other part of the world, different countries as well. So this is very important to study the world affairs, to know what's happening in the world, what's happening in the global scenario. It's very important. So to keep an eye on global markets, foreign exchange markets, and to keep an eye on, or to have to gather the information about what's happening in every part of the world. So this helps us in assessing what's happening and what is the present scenario in the global perspective. The second important source that we have to see as investors before taking the investment decision is the domestic, economic and political factors or political scenario. So the global, the current national market or the domestic market majorly depends on, or the activities in the national level or at the country level depends on many factors, like the monetary policy of the country, like the fiscal policy of the country, the level of agricultural production, the level of GDP, the level of inflation prevailing in the country, or in fact the monsoon, in fact the agricultural output. So likewise, there are so many parameters which determines the domestic economic condition. Same way, the political factors, because major policies, the political is the policy maker of the country. So, what is their inclination towards the business, towards that particular sector where you are interested in? Because when the government took the decision on GST, when the decision was taken about demonetization, one or the other way, it has impact on the business world. So, it is very important for the investor to keep an eye on the domestic market and the things happening at the national level. Then the industry information, the industry where you want to invest, like are you interested in hospitality, healthcare, telecommunication, agriculture, or are you interested in say automobiles, electronics? Like we have so many industries which are lined up. So as an investor, you need to thoroughly study about the industry where you are interested to invest. What is the present status of the industry? Who are the players in the industry? What is the policy? What is the approach of the government, or the whatever the incentive that the government gives to that industry? Is it a demerit goods which are which belong? Suppose if we talk about cigarette, alcohol, gutka, so all those things are considered demerit goods. And what is the rules and regulation, or what is the policy that affects to such industries? So whenever you are investing, you need to make a thorough analysis of the industry, prosperity, the perspective, future perspective, who are the market leaders, and how many units are there, what is the quantum of the industry. So all that has to be thoroughly studied. Then we have something called as company information. So whenever we are doing an investment analysis, so the company reports gives us, acts as a source of the information, because through its reports companies speak to the public, like through its statement of profit and loss, through its balance sheet, and by seeing their corporate data about their turnover, about the trends, that the shares of that company, the movement of the price. So the any information related to the company about its operation, some may be qualitative, some may be quantitative data, the management or the effectiveness of the leadership in the company. So the company where you are interested to invest, have a thorough analysis, check the company information through various sources of the reports. Then the most important, security market information. So here in this case, we are seeing the indexes in the stock market. So what is the trends through which the stock prices are happening, and what is the market report say, equity research report, trade and settlement data, and listing of companies and delisting, record dates, books, closure books, so beta factors. So these are all some of the information which we have to look from the security market, which gives us the information about the stocks that we are interested to invest. Then we have security price quotation. So that means here we look into the price indices, price and volume of data, then breadth, daily volatility. So what is the increase decrease in the price of that particular security in a day, okay, and what is the range within which it was operating, what is the rate of changes, so what is the extent of volatility that the stock actually came across in that particular period. So all those information acts as a source of information for assessing the, for carrying out the analysis. Then again the next one is data on mutual funds, such as government security, money market, forex market. So many we have mutual funds. So having an eye on the mutual fund operations and the extent of their investment decision, the basket of investments that they make. So all that, if you are keeping an eye on, so you can get a hint about what is happening in the market. So being an investor, it is very important to collect as much information as possible about the investment that you want to make, because without any information, without seeing any data, if you take any decision, then the chances are that the decision might go wrong, you may lose your investment. So before investing, it is important to collect the information and analyze it. So where do you collect the information? You collect from all these sources. So see the world affairs, what's happening, look into the domestic economy, look into the domestic political factors, the industry where you are interested in, thoroughly do the industry analysis, then the company analysis, get the information from the company reports, then what does stock market say? So what does the indexes indicate? Then what are the price quotation that you can see through its options, futures, forwards? Then what does the mutual fund companies talk about the investment? So all these, if you could gather and assess, then the chances that your investment decision might be right. So just to have a recap what we did in this session. So information is needed by every investor and analyst to make investment decision. Then the correct and authentic information can lead to efficient investment decision. So it's very important that the information what we collect is authentic, is correct, and is timely. Okay, so these three important thing has to be attached with the information. Then again, there are many sources through which you can collect, through the reports, through the stock market indexes, through the published reports, through the policies that you can see. So all these serve as the sources of information for making investment decision. So you can further these references, go through with these references to have better, deeper knowledge about the subject. So kindly read more and more books about the topics that we are discussing, and also look into the old question papers, which gives a hint about what is that perspective that they are actually wanting you to know and understand about the topic. Okay, thank you very much. Let's meet in the other video. Hopefully you have got the concept. Thank you very much.